Skill development mission by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become a very big envisage.
लॉर्ड श्री कृष्ण ने कहा था अर्जुन से कि तद विद्धि प्रणिपाते न। पहले उन्होंने कहा कि ज्ञान से पवित्र कुछ नहीं, अब ज्ञान को प्राप्त कैसे करना है? उन्होंने कहा तद विद्धि प्रणिपाते न परिप्रश्नेन सेवया।
If you have this skill, you can grow faster. What is your take on this?
आदिदेव महादेव हे दया निधे, आदिदेव महादेव हे दया निधे, आदिदेव महादेव हे दया निधे, नीलकंठ पार्वतीश हे कृपा।
Namaskar and welcome to another episode of the VSERV podcast series. Today we have a very special guest whom I was inviting since long, and today he has given his precious time to be in our studio, and I am really thankful to him, and also having that confidence, the conversation which we'll do today in this podcast of 30 minutes will definitely make a sense to the people, professional and general public, students, professionals, academicians, and those who are heading the organization, that how learning and development can contribute to their business success even. So welcome Shastry Sahab.
Thank you, Dr. Gaur, for inviting me to this podcast. It's a real pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
So before we go ahead and throw a series of questions to Mr. D.V. Shastry, I would like to speak about his career progression and achievements in his life. So he has been associated with many organizations, but to name a few which will make an impact on you, that how he has contributed throughout his life to the learning and development space. So he is the Executive Director of Natural Gas Society, formerly Executive Director Training at GAIL India Limited and Electronic Corporation of India ECIL also. In addition to it, he is the chairman of ISTD Delhi chapter. So welcome Shastri Saab today in our studio. I hope this pleasant conversation will move so many lives.
Thank you so much.
So, Shastri Sahab, you had a phenomenal career of over 40 years in the oil and gas sector. Can you walk us through your journey and how you started?
Yeah, yes, I am thankful to my parents and to the Almighty that I could achieve whatever little I could in my life. And the journey in the energy sector is quite interesting in the sense that when I was a student of third year engineering, there was a notice on the notice board. Those days computers were not there, so typed circulars used to come, and our principal had displayed a notice which was about all India level essay competition organized by Institution of Engineers India, and the topic was energy crisis, ways and means to overcome it. Usually what happens that the students have a look at the notice board, have a cursory look at what is there, and they forget it. But somehow I was fascinated, and since my father was also an academician, he was a professor and head of chemistry department at Vikram University, Ujjain. So when I came home, I told my father that such and such competition is being held, and please advise me whether I should write or not. I am not confident whether I will be able to, win some prize or not. My father said, winning a prize is okay, but that is not the ultimate objective. You just put in your best, write and see what happens. And I did my homework, I submitted my entry, and I am very happy to share with you that I stood first in the All India competition on the topic of energy crisis.
And that too handwritten, without help of Google or AI in the current age.
Nothing. That was not the age when the computers became popular and accessible to the general public. So yes, and there is no shortcut. In fact, as you said that this podcast will be shared with a large audience. So the very clear message is that बिना मेहनत के कुछ हासिल होता नहीं. So during this journey of essay, I wrote a draft. It was almost a full register. In the college days we had register. No, I wrote everything, whatever came to my mind, and I studied some books and reference books, and then I showed it to my father. And since he was an academician, he took a red pen and he made so many corrections here and there, delete this, add this. But again, as a child and as a student, I never shied away from hard work. So when he did this, I wrote it again. Whatever corrections he had indicated, I corrected. Again, second round, he made some corrections, and after 2-3 revisions, that was finalized, submitted, and I could win the first prize. So that was the turning point when my interest towards energy sector aroused in myself. And then I went to college. I did my BE in mechanical engineering from Ujjain itself, and then I went to IIT Bombay for my post-graduation MTech in energy systems engineering. So that was 41 years ago, when nobody was even thinking of such courses. And that was the interdisciplinary course introduced at IIT Bombay, and I was fortunate enough to get admission into that. Then I joined ONGC, and when Oil and Natural Gas Commission, it was called that time. Later on it became Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. So somehow my posting was in the HBJ group. HBJ pipeline was conceived by ONGC. But soon after my joining, the Government of India decided to form a separate company for the gas business, because until then oil and gas both were being dealt with by ONGC. But when the availability of gas increased in our country, and government had to find a way to properly utilize the gas in the South Basin in 1974 onwards, that exploration and production got boost and gas became available. It was being flared, so why to waste the precious resource? So that's how the Government of India decided to form this company, and 16th of August 1984 was the date when GAIL was formed, and I am among very few lucky people who have seen the birth of GAIL in front of our eyes. So thereafter I kept working with this company for quite a good number of years. Right from having nothing on ground, this company made progress. The first ever project was the Hazira Vijaypur Jagdishpur gas pipeline. It was a 1700 kilometer long pipeline which was connecting the states of Gujarat to Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, to 6 fertilizer supplying gas to 6 fertilizer plants and several power stations of NTPC and like that. And thereafter GAIL never looked back. So I am very lucky to be associated with this company, which achieved the status of Navratna very shortly in the year 99 and Maharatna company in 2013. So GAIL is also known as the youngest Maharatna company. So I worked in GAIL in various functions. Again, that was a very great thing done to me by my company, the multifunctional exposure. For the 50% of my initial career, it was hardcore technical, that is construction.
Shastri sir, how from an engineer you become a L&D professional? What is the story behind that?
Yes, as I said, my background itself helped me in that. I was born in the family of academicians. Even my grandfather was also a professor of astrology.
Okay.
He had done his degree from Kashi Hindu Vishwavidyalaya. He was the gold medalist. He got the Lord Ripon's gold medal.
Okay.
He was a professor. My father was also a professor. So since childhood, I was in that kind of environment. So somehow that was
Spark.
ingrained in my genes. But when I came to GAIL again, while performing the hardcore technical job, also my orientation was towards learning and development. For example, in our plant we are using so many lubricants, greases, and so many other things. So this natural interest or aptitude from within, guided me to organize seminars. So I approached the Indian Oil Corporation, who are marketing the liquid petroleum and lubricants and all. So I contacted, that time I was posted in Madhya Pradesh, Vijaypur, Guna. So I contacted some IOC officer in Bhopal. I requested him to conduct a workshop on lubricants at our plant. They came and they did it on free of cost basis. And so such small things were happening from time to time, which were making my aptitude obvious to my company also. And that's why in the later years, when the GAIL Training Institute was established in the year 1997, I was picked up as one of the founder faculty members. So I worked here as a core faculty member. In my assigned task was to be the faculty.
Training was in genes.
Yes.
That become your passion and later turned into profession.
Yes, I would say even my training is my passion. Passion first, profession second.
Okay.
So that's how I was involved in establishing this. And apart from performing my task in the core area, that is what I was being paid for. I diversified my area. I increased my domain into management and leadership training also. Although it was never written in my role description. But I myself thought that why not to do something more, something extra. And this extra mile approach only takes you to greater heights.
Absolutely right. So, Shastri Sahab, you have led learning and development at national level. So, what does it affect? What do you feel L&D mean in today's energy industry?
See, L&D is universally applicable to all fields.
Okay, it's not specific to any specific sector.
Yes, but in the area of energy sector, it becomes more important because today's world, as all of us know, it is very dynamic. The environment is highly complicated, competitive, complex, and the most critical thing about it is that the changes are occurring very rapidly.
Yes.
What is relevant today may not be relevant tomorrow.
Yes, speed is the game.
Speed is the game. So therefore, we all have to be always in learning mode. We have to be agile, we have to be smart, because there is a difference between hard work and smart work. So we all should all aim at working smart. So that is, you were talking of energy sector, so changes are occurring. The geopolitical environment is changing very rapidly, and energy security is of strategic importance to the country, because if there is no energy, there is no growth.
Yes.
So we have to make sure that our energy security is intact. Although India is not self-sufficient in energy needs, we import a lot of oil, a lot of gas. But yes, at the same time, there have been discoveries of oil and gas within the country also. So we have to make sure that our energy basket, because oil and gas is not the only source of energy. We have the thermal power based on coal, we have renewables like wind, solar energy, geothermal energy, and so on. So, and in today's world, when we are talking of carbon neutral economy, yeah, so that the carbon emissions are reduced, and our country has a target to become net zero or carbon neutral by the year 2070. So we have to focus our efforts on making our energy system based on clean fuels, and the net objective is to switch over to the renewables, but it cannot be done overnight. So therefore natural gas is considered as the transition fuel. Transition from the fossil fuels to the renewables, natural gas is the cleanest source of energy for achieving this kind of energy transition. So we have to learn continuously to make how to utilize natural gas in the efficient manner. The city gas distribution sector is growing at a very rapid speed in the country. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board has authorized almost entire geographical area of our country for city gas distribution, except the islands of Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep.
Okay.
So almost 60 entities are working across the country for, CGD means primarily two things: the piped natural gas to the domestic users, the compressed natural gas or CGD for the automotive sector, and also for commercial and industrial use. And just to tell you a small statistics, we have almost 8,500 CNG stations across the country as on date, and 1.55 crore piped natural gas users, that is the domestic users. And there are various other statistics, but it is sufficient to give you an idea how this sector is growing. And again, GAIL was pioneer in that when the Supreme Court gave orders for using natural gas for automotive use. So under that, this CNG project came. Then the companies like Indraprastha Gas, IGL, and Mahanagar Gas Limited, Mumbai.
I am also consumer of that.
Yeah. So, and you must have seen how the environmental conditions change. If you remember,
it has improved.
Red line buses were running and lot of black smoke out of diesel engines and all. And with the implementation of CNG, the environment has become very, very clean. The air is much more cleaner than before.
Shastri, I would like to come on the very important topic which is very close to my heart. Like skill development mission by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become a very big envisage around 12 years back. But what has happened inside that, there are a lot of initiatives being taken. Every organization want skilled workforce with them, and it is the name of the game. If you have the skill, you can grow faster. What is your take on this?
See, the question is very interesting and important. The Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he has said, योगः कर्मसु कौशलम, अपने कर्म में कुशलता ही योग कहा जाता है. And second important thing which he told Arjuna, Krishna told Arjuna, nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram vidyate. That means, oh Arjun, there is nothing purer on this earth than knowledge. So knowledge and skills, they have already been highlighted in the Bhagavad Gita, and that is always true. It is a universal truth. Thousands of years ago also it was true, now also, and it is quite relevant. So our Prime Minister has rightly emphasized the importance of skill development in our country. That's why we have National Skill Development Corporation, we have various sector skill councils, and in this hydrocarbon sector is also no exception. Several skill development institutes have been established in various parts of the country. Talking of the oil and gas sector, each oil company has set up one SDI or the Skill Development Institute, namely at Raebareli by GAIL India Limited, by ONGC at Ahmedabad, by Indian Oil Corporation at Bhubaneswar, by Oil India at Guwahati, by Hindustan Petroleum Corporation at Visakhapatnam, and by Bharat Petroleum Corporation at Kochi. So these institutes have a focused objective of skilling the local manpower, like the 10th or 12th pass youth who are not possessing the industry ready skills. So they are to be skilled in the industry relevant trades. Say for example, in our natural gas pipelines and oil pipelines, a lot of welding is required. So welders training, electricians training, fitter training, plumber training. The plumber training is very important in the context of city gas distribution. ये जो natural gas आपके घर में आती है, तो उसके अंदर जो plumbing is very important. If the plumbing is not proper,
leakage and
all things, that will, apart from causing the monetary loss, is also a safety hazard. Although natural gas is lighter than air and it easily disperses into the atmosphere, and compared to LPG it is much more safer because LPG is heavier than air, so it stays close to the ground and the hazard is more. But even natural gas.
शाह साहब एक चीज पूछना चाहूंगा, आईटी जब से डेवलप हुआ तो लर्निंग डेवलपमेंट और अब जो एआई का जो उपयोग हो रहा है जिस स्पीड से, उसने लर्निंग डेवलपमेंट को कुछ चेंज किया है क्या, कुछ स्पीड दी है क्या उसको?
डेफिनेटली इट हैज चेंज द सिनेरियो ड्रास्टिकली, बट यस, जस्ट लाइक यू नो a double-edged sword, it has pluses and minuses both. Pluses की पहले हम बात कर लेते हैं. The pluses are that now learning is accessible to everybody on round the clock basis, in the sense that now
हाथ में मोबाइल है,
internet is there, mobile is there, smartphone is there, and if somebody is really curious to learn, he or she can do so at his palm top.
right?
But at the same time, like artificial intelligence, that is helping us a lot. But the other side of the coin is that लोगों की जो विचार शक्ति है, सोचने की शक्ति है, तर्क शक्ति है, वो खत्म होती जा रही है, क्योंकि किसी को कुछ भी प्रिपेयर करना है तो वो कीवर्ड्स डाल देता है और चैट जीपीटी या बाकी जो एआई प्लेटफॉर्म्स है वो फट से आपको आउटपुट दे देते हैं. तो वो जो हमारी एक जो जेन्युइन क्वेस्ट फॉर लर्निंग जो होती है, ये अभी क्या होता है, हम लोग कुछ करते हैं, चैट जीपीटी से निकलता है, देख लिया, 2 घंटे बाद हम भूल जाएंगे, क्योंकि इट हैज नॉट कम फ्रॉम विदिन. So those are the hazards also. But yes, पहले ज़माने में जो बुक्स होती थी उसकी एक्सेसिबिलिटी कम होती थी, बुक्स महंगी होती थी हर जगह.
बल्कि मैं तो ये कहूँगा शास्त्री साहब, मैं एक आर्टिकल लिखा अभी कि स्टूडेंट्स बिकम reeler from readers.
Yeah, they are more interested in preparing reels rather than reading.
But that can also be used as a training material.
Absolutely. And particularly, you know, all of us learn more by visualizing rather than auditory impact. But to me, I feel that there is no substitute to reading the books.
बिल्कुल, वो तो हैबिट है.
और खास करके मैं पर्सनल बात करूं तो मुझे ऑनलाइन रीडिंग में उतना मज़ा नहीं आता, क्योंकि ऑनलाइन रीडिंग में एक तो स्क्रीन पे आप अप एंड डाउन स्क्रॉल करते रहोगे, उतना कंसंट्रेशन नहीं बनेगा. आपको किसी पैरा को 3 बार पढ़ना है, बुक को आप पलटोगे, या आपने प्रीवियस पेज पे कुछ पढ़ा था उसको कोरिलेट करना है,
कुछ नोट बनाना है,
तो वो आप बैक रेफर करते हो, आराम से करते हो, वो जल्दी एब्जॉर्ब होता है. ये हमारी जनरेशन के लिए शायद अप्लीकेबल है, नई जनरेशन कहेगी कि वो तो पुरानी चीज़ हो गई. But anyway, and there is no problem. Change is the only thing which is constant.
Yes.
Change आ रहा है तो हमको embrace करना चाहिए, नई नई चीज़ें सीखनी चाहिए.
शास्त्री, मैं एक चीज पूछना चाहूंगा कि you are someone deeply engaged in the HR strategies also.
Yeah.
How can an organization align HR with business interest also? So entrepreneurs, they focus on business development, no doubt. But जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स का डेवलपमेंट है, उनका स्किल एनहेंसमेंट है, वो भी उनके गोल को पूरा करे, तभी डेफिनेटली उनको भी इंटरेस्ट उसमें आएगा. इसको आप कैसे देखते हैं?
इसको मेरा देखने का नजरिया एकदम अलग है.
अच्छा.
देयर इज नथिंग लाइक नॉन HR.
ओके.
सब HR है. आप पूछिए क्यों? क्योंकि हम इस पृथ्वी पे जब जन्म लेते हैं तब से लेके हमारी आखिरी सांस तक वी कीप इंटरेक्टिंग विद humans only. Our first interaction is with our mother, then other family members, then we go to school, we have our classmates, the teachers and others. Then having acquired our education, we engage in some employment where again we are surrounded with people. बॉस भी होता है, सबऑर्डिनेट भी होता है, पीयर्स भी होते हैं. तो ऐसे कोई जगह नहीं है जहाँ बिना ह्यूमन इंटरेक्शन के काम चले. चाहे वो डॉक्टर हो, इंजीनियर हो, शॉपकीपर हो. आप देखेंगे ना कि शॉपकीपर भी वही सक्सेसफुल होता है जिसकी ह्यूमन स्किल्स बेटर होते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
वो आपको अच्छे से ट्रीट करता है तो शायद वो आपसे 2 पैसे ज़्यादा भी चार्ज कर लेगा, लेकिन तब भी उसके पास जाएंगे कि भाई ही इज़ अ गुड पर्सन.
तो इसी के साथ मेरा जुड़ा हुआ सवाल है शास्त्री साहब, और मुझे पता है कि आप गाते भी बहुत अच्छा हैं, तो प्रोग्राम क्लोज करते समय हम आपसे कुछ सुनेंगे भी. सॉफ्ट स्किल और हार्ड स्किल, जैसे आजकल लोग कॉलेज में जाते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा फोकस करते हैं कि मैं कोई टेक्निकल विषय का एक्सपर्ट बन जाऊं, लेकिन मैंने अपनी ज़िंदगी में देखा है कि वो लोग जल्दी ज़्यादा कामयाब हो पाते हैं जिनके पास बिहेवियरल और सॉफ्ट स्किल अच्छी होती है. हाउ डू यू फील अबाउट इट?
बिल्कुल, आपने जो कहा वो 100% सही है, क्योंकि मैं इसको इस तरीके से देखता हूँ कि किसी भी चीज़ के 2 एस्पेक्ट होते हैं. एक तो कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी जो आपने कहा, हार्डकोर टेक्निकल या जो भी आपकी फील्ड है, उसमें तो आपकी मास्टरी इट इज़ एसेंशियल. उसके बिना काम चलेगा नहीं. लेकिन उसके साथ सॉफ्ट स्किल्स का होना भी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है टू बिकम सक्सेसफुल. और हमने कई एग्जांपल्स देखे हैं कि लोग बहुत ही अपने डोमेन में एक्सपर्ट हैं, लेकिन उनकी जो क्रॉस फंक्शनल और बिहेवियरल स्किल्स वो लैक करती हैं, इसलिए वो टॉप तक नहीं पहुंच पाते. बल्कि इसका उल्टा है कि चाहे आपकी कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी थोड़ी सी कम भी हो, लेकिन आपके अंदर सीखने की इच्छा है और आपकी सॉफ्ट स्किल्स अच्छी हैं, तो आप उसको कलेक्टिव विजडम से उस गैप को फिलअप कर सकते हैं और अपने बिहेवियरल स्किल से यू कैन reach the top, and that is why it is said that attitude takes you to altitude. तो इसलिए वो बहुत जरूरी है.
तो शास्त्री जो चेयरमैन भी हैं, उसका क्या पर्पस है, वो कैसे करता है? हो सकता है कि कभी आप मुझे भी मौका दें कोई ट्रेनिंग करने का, मेरे भी कुछ अपने विषय हैं, तो क्या है फंक्शन ISTD का?
Basically, ISTD stands for Indian Society for Training and Development, and as you said, I am the chairman of ISTD Delhi chapter for the tenure of 24 to 26. So this is a very old and very reputed organization which was set up in the year 1970.
अच्छा.
अब इसको 55 साल पूरे हो चुके हैं और अभी रिसेंटली हमने 11 अप्रैल को इसका 56th फाउंडेशन डे भी मनाया. एंड बेसिकली ये जिज्ञासु लोगों के द्वारा ही स्थापित की गई थी. इसके जो पास्ट नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट्स हैं, एक से एक दिग्गज लोग हैं. और मैं पुरानी बात ना करते हुए आज की भी बात करूं, डॉक्टर राजेश्वरी नरेंद्रन जैसे हैं, शी इज़ हेडिंग द NTPC स्कूल ऑफ बिजनेस, वेरी लर्नेड लेडी एंड very deep into her subject matter. Similarly, we had Professor Rajan Saxena, Professor Vinayshil Gautam, Professor Uddesh Kohli, Dr. D.K. Benwait, and so on. The list is very long, and all such office bearers of ISTD have been well-known figures in their own domain and also in the field of training and development.
Training and development.
So this is a premier institution of the country. It has been conducting its diploma also. Now it has been renamed as the PG certification course in learning and development. So it's a very good platform for the trainers and the coaches and others to utilize their competencies in the domain in which they want to grow further.
So what excites you daily, Shastri Sahab, to be among with the people, different societies? Last day when I called you, you were boarding the flight. So what excites you?
Actually, I came across a very interesting study that was done at Harvard Business School, in which there are two authors of this study, Timothy Butler and James Waldrop.
Okay.
So they came out with a study that each human being has a combination of few deeply embedded life interests. DELI.
DELI.
D is deeply, E is embedded, L is life, I is interests. So each person has a combination of 2 or 3. They defined 8 deeply embedded life interests, and they said that each person is a combination of 3-4 deeply embedded life interests. तो उसमें से किसी को लोगों के साथ मिक्स होना अच्छा लगता है. They like to interact with people. They want to share what they know. Somebody likes to play with words. Somebody is good at statistics. उनको numbers से खेलने में मजा आता है, उनको statistics में मजा होता है. किसी को coaching and mentoring का orientation होता है. So I feel that is my natural interest. I love to interact with people. I love to learn. क्योंकि जिस दिन learning stop हो गई, उस दिन आपकी growth बंद हो गई. और अगर कोई व्यक्ति ये सोचता है कि मैं सब जानता हूँ, इसका मतलब वो सबसे कम जानता है. That fellow knows the least. तो इसलिए हमको हमेशा लर्निंग मोड में रहना है. और ये एक नेचुरल प्रवृत्ति है. इवन छोटा बच्चा भी जब जन्म लेता है और थोड़ा सा उसको समझ आती है, उसकी क्यूरियोसिटी होती है, ये क्या है, वो क्या है, पक्षी उड़ क्यों रहा है, डॉगी भौंक क्यों रहा है. बच्चा ऐसे जो नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस पूछता है, तो वो चाइल्ड लाइक क्यूरियोसिटी हमारे अंदर हमेशा बनी रहेगी, तभी हम लर्निंग कर पाएंगे. अगेन आई कोट लॉर्ड श्री कृष्ण ने कहा था अर्जुन से कि तद विद्धि प्रणिपातेन. पहले उन्होंने कहा कि ज्ञान से पवित्र कुछ नहीं, आप ज्ञान को प्राप्त कैसे करना है. उन्होंने कहा तद विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया. दैट मीन्स एक्वायर नॉलेज थ्रू ह्यूमिलिटी. तद विद्धि प्रणिपातेन, प्रणाम करके, विनम्रता से. परिप्रश्नेन, बाय आस्किंग जेन्युइन क्वेश्चंस. क्वेश्चनिंग भी जेन्युइन क्वेश्चनिंग होनी चाहिए. कई बार होता है आजकल कॉलेज के लड़के टीचर से जानबूझ के ऐसे आड़े तिरछे सवाल पूछते हैं, तो
एम्बेरस करते हैं.
तो प्रोफेसर, उनका ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है कि एम्बेरस करना. तो कृष्ण ने कहा परिप्रश्न, लॉजिकल एंड जेन्युइन क्वेश्चनिंग करके ही आप सही रूप से ज्ञान को आप प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानम योगिनस् तत्वदर्शिनः. जो पहुँचे हुए लोग हैं, लर्नर लोग हैं, ऐसे ह्यूमिलिटी से आप, और परिप्रश्न यानी कि लॉजिकल एंड रीजन्ड क्वेश्चनिंग करके आप उन लोगों से उनका ज्ञान हासिल कर सकते हो. और ज्ञान के लिए दूसरी चीज चाणक्य ने कहा था, बालादपि सुभाषितम ग्राह्यम. ज्ञान के लिए जरूरी नहीं है कि किसी के बाल सफेद हो या दाढ़ी सफेद हो. ज्ञान आप छोटे से बच्चे से भी प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. इसलिए चाणक्य ने कहा कि अगर कोई छोटा बच्चा भी कोई वर्थवाइल चीज बोल रहा है, तो आपको उसको ग्रहण करना चाहिए. बालादपि सुभाषितम ग्राह्यम. सो इस अप्रोच से, अगर हम होलिस्टिक अप्रोच से जहाँ से जो सीखने को मिले, वो उसको हम अगर ग्रहण करने की हमारे अंदर प्रवृत्ति हो, तो हम सही मायने में लर्निंग को अचीव कर सकते हैं.
तो शास्त्री साहब, इस प्रोग्राम को समापन हम करना चाहेंगे कि आपसे कुछ सुनना चाहें. तो हमारे जो दर्शक इस प्रोग्राम को देख रहे हैं, एक चीज़ जो मैंने बहुत ही अच्छी तरीके से आज सुनी, समझी और सीख ली है, वो DELI. वो यदि आदमी पकड़ लेगा तो शायद अपने करियर में वो सफलता उसको मिल सकती है. तो चलते चलते कुछ सुना दीजिए सर.
चलिए, मैं एक राग यमन पे आधारित एक छोटा सा टुकड़ा सुना देता हूँ. वो शंकर जी की स्तुति है. आदिदेव महादेव हे दया निधे, आदिदेव महादेव हे दया निधे, आदिदेव महादेव हे दया निधे, नीलकंठ पार्वतीश हे कृपा निधे, आदिदेव महादेव हे दया निधे।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सो दोस्तों, साथियों, ये थी एक मुलाकात हमारी आज डीवी शास्त्री साहब से। ये एपिसोड आपके लिए अवेलेबल होगा। आप हमारे साथ जुड़ते रहिए और हम लाते रहेंगे ऐसी स्पेशल पर्सनालिटीज को आपके लिए। थैंक यू।